there's been a number of cabinet nominees that have failed over the years. I'm remembering John Tower, the former Secretary of Defense nominee, that failed in kind of spectacular fashion a couple of decades ago. You mentioned Louis Strauss, and we don't have to look much more lately than that than Matt Gaetz for the Attorney General slot that failed before he was even formally nominated for the position, and now is a former member of Congress from Florida. And so it's hard to underestimate just how much these confirmation hearings and the lead up to them can make or break a presidential nominee. Senate Republicans are very eager to get some of these folks through the confirmation process. They can be confirmed on day one, on January 20th or the afternoon after President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in on the steps of the Capitol. But certainly these hearings set the stage and allow Senate Democrats especially the opportunity to try to pick holes in their records, especially for people like Pete Hegseth, who faces a number of allegations around things like mismanagement of a Veterans Affairs organization, sexual misconduct, all things he has denied, but have certainly been a target of conversation.
Zach, the Senate Democrats will be picking holes, but I wonder what we know of their strategy going forward here. If some of these nominations are assured, how much of a stink should they make? How do they view the kind of utility of these confirmation hearings as they look at the minority that they're in here in the next Congress?
Yeah, over the last couple of decades, senators have basically agreed that simple majority is the only way that these nominees are going to get through. Very rarely do you see, especially cabinet nominees for the Supreme Court, get through with large bipartisan support of the 60-plus votes that we used to see before the filibuster was eroded time after time in the Senate. And so Democrats really have more of a rhetorical job this week with their audience being really just a handful of Republican senators, people like Senator Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski from Maine and Alaska, respectively. Some of these more moderate senators that might be convinced to vote against a nominee or, simply before it even gets to a floor vote, tell the Trump team, hey, maybe we got to withdraw this particular nomination. We've seen that with other nominees, including a former Secretary of Defense nominee during the first Trump administration, Pat Shanahan. And so certainly there's some precedent here for building enough of a case against the nominee that they fail before they reach the floor.